Morning. Back to watercolour. I've got the board at quite a shallow angle so that the water doesn't run down quite so quickly. And I just want to do a simple Norfolk type of scene, a few houses around a church. These are going to be silhouette, I hope. I've got my cup of tea. Right, there's my palette. We've got yellow, lemon yellow. I'm waiting for that to run out so that I can try using cadmium yellow for a change. I won't put a huge amount of cadmium yellow out, but I'm not. That's got a way to go yet. It's taken quite a long time to use up this lemon yellow. So lemon yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey, burnt sienna. 8 colours. I won't use them all. Now I'm going to wet the paper with dirty brush. Leave a little bit of sparkle here and there. Okay, now a warm of sienna. I'm going to paint the background just a very sort of bluey Payne's grey. So the water will run down, but not quickly and not so violently. Right, that's quite a lot of water on that paper now. So ultramarine and light red. Now you need to put this on quite strong. It all it all lightens when it dries, so you need to allow for that. A bit more red in, just. Now you'll notice that the red separates from the blue, which is lovely because you get this granulated effect. Okay, that'll do. That's a sky. So you have to paint darker than the paint goes on, and you're never quite sure how it's going to turn out, but you've got some control over it with the paper at this angle. I can't get this angle, but I can. Whoops. I can with my box easel, but the problem with the box easel is that it's quite weighty, and when you lay the palette part of the easel down, it can just drop onto the main box and ruin things. Right, let's just move that there a little bit. I've got a swig of tea, so we'll let that just dry in for a little while. Now it looks like the cloud is dropping some rain over this landscape, which is lovely. But if you don't want the paint to give that effect, you can paint flat and then alter the easel. But since I'm trying to film this, I don't want to, I just want the camera in one position. I'm drinking my tea, all right? Right, while that's a bit wet, I'm going to just come down with my landscape. I'm using more burnt umber these days. Sort of ploughed fields of Norfolk. Just a simple foreground. Let's have a bit of yellow in with that and a bit of sienna. Maybe we can put in a bit of. Now we'll put some bushes in. I don't want to put any water in this. We'll put a couple of trees going up from it. It's just a very simple, nice burnt umber, bit of lemon yellow, This is just the underpainting for the foreground. I'm not going to fuss it too much. Right, okay. Now I should have left a bit of a margin of wet there, but I didn't. So let's just put that a little bit harder in there. Right, I'm going to let that go because if you start overworking before it's dry, you'll ruin it. I'm going to give that a try anyway with a hairdryer. Fix it. So you can see how light the sky is going now. You can, when the paper is really dry, go over the sky, re-wet it, as long as you don't disturb what's underneath, and go over it. You can also use a bit of tissue to blot out a bit of an area before you go over it. Say if you put a raw sienna wash over it, and then as it's drying, just damp out a sun or something, sun, and then dry it, and then go over it again, and you can keep the sun very, very light in the middle, whereas you painted everything else. I'm not a lover of great blottings out. It can be overused, so I don't really do it. I used to do it, but it looks a bit obvious, a bit too obvious. So I'm just squeezing the water out of the brush. I want to just put in. That doesn't matter. I'm going to put some bushes in there, but I want to put in my little horizon trees. So I'm using my number 8 sable here for this. So sky colours, and just so let's just put in some around here. Okay, that'll do. Let that dry a little bit. I want to put this in here, but I want that the same sort of colour. Well, I could probably do that now. No colour, just a bit of grey. Right, okay, so we've got our silhouette. No detail. The detail will come as we go forward. Right. Now we'll start to texture this foreground. So some yellow. Vary all these colours. Remember, all this dries lighter. You're painting over that underpainting, so we can put loads of variety of colour in this. All sort of rough ground. Well, I was thinking of plough field, but that's a bit naff. Just dipping it in the burnt umber, look, and a bit of raw sienna. Anything just make something a bit different, a variety. We want variety. So these are all sort of grass. This is a grassy area, I've decided. Okay, well, we'll let that sort of dry for a little bit. Just want to put a little bit of stuff on the on that horizon in front of those trees, so just a bit of bluey. Just some bushes in front of that. Don't have to overdo it. So a little bit of Payne's grey in this just to darken that horizon there. What we're doing is just creating a painting really. Right, now we want some nice darks. Some rough sort of bushy scrub, more rough ground. I love rough ground. I think the problem is overdoing it as always. Just using a bit of Payne's grey and a bit of burnt umber and ultramarine, but warmer in the foreground. Look, nice, even a bit of red in there. Let's get that bit of bushes. Right, that'll do. That's nice. We can add a bit of vigor work in that. Clean my brush, I think. So remember to clean your brush. Don't pull the hairs. Just squeeze the water out. If you pull them, they could come out from the stitching. And another hake bites the dust. Okay, now I want to put a couple of little trees coming into there. So winter trees, I love winter. Well, I don't like winter, but I like it for painting. So a bit of blue, bit of this and a bit of that. So it's just got a nice shape in there. Okay, right now we'll put that's a burnt umber. Is really hasn't dried yet. Okay, so we can add a bit of a tree there, but we can do smaller ones, balance it over there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just put a smaller one in, or a group. Okay, that'll do. It's keeping things asymmetrical, is that a word? It's a word, but it doesn't mean what I mean. It just want it to mean. Keep things in balance. What you do on one side, do on the other to but in a different way. Smaller, longer. You don't want to repeat yourself. So we can start with the rigger now. Right, got a grey trunk on here. Right, just a simple tree. You saw how I did that with the corner of the hake. Right, so that's one tree, and we can do little bits of bit here. And then we do a couple here. But not overdone. These we just want to appear in front of the hedge behind. Okay, so there we are, we've got a painting, haven't we? And we can don't overdo this. Don't make it into like a pattern. Let's sign it. We'll put a mount on it. Now I'm going to see my favourite, my football team this afternoon, Crystal Palace. Playing Sunderland. We're both in the bottom of three of the Premier League, the English Premier League. Let's have a bird. We've had a terrible start to the season. We struggled last year to survive. But I don't want to put the... there's one up here, a couple down here. Right, that'll do. Green amount. I like this easel, but I don't know where to put anything in front of it. So let's put a bit of like having a table when I do the acrylics and the oils. I work off that piece of plywood or laminated wood. Right, let's just bring that up a bit like that, and then we'll come out of that, and we'll put on the blue mount, I think. Okay. So there we are. A Norfolk scene. It doesn't really exist, I made it up, but they're so simple to make up. Once you've got a bit of experience, you can start to invent and improvise. Somebody asked me if I do street scenes. No, I don't. I leave those for the people that are far more skillful than me. I just like to stick to my landscapes and go do as well as I can with them. But it's all painting. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's come round, I'll zoom you in. Let's go around that horizon there. So Norfolk is a very flat county in England, on the east coast. Very lovely because it's fairly flat. Not entirely flat, it gets a bit hilly at the north coast around the Wash. So my tree, very simple. But really it's painting foregrounds, and a lot of you have difficulty with foregrounds. And you saw how simply I made that. It looks effective, but it's really, if you analyse it, there's not a lot there. That's probably, my bush has gone up a bit higher there, but Anyway, there we are. That's the first one today. I'll do another one. But I like the sky. But remember, the watercolour, when you're painting wet in wet, the sky dries a lot lighter than you put it on. So you have to compensate for that and put the washes in heavier to start with. But I quite like that. But you to get that effect, you need the board quite down at about 30 degrees. But have fun. See you soon. Bye bye.